Sometimes, Todd, it doesn't matter how you win as long as you win, and a 1 point win against a team that you came into the game fighting for a final spot with, that's a big result.
Yeah, well, it's obviously, 4 points we get, 4 points they don't. So, I think if you're watching, I don't think the game ever got into any great heights, but, we showed a bit of character, I thought. Didn't play anywhere near our best, and, I think they get to maybe 2.5 goals in front halfway through the last quarter and then found a way to fight back. So, left some opportunities, kicked quite poorly but a goal, but doesn't matter at the end, does it?
You talked about it wasn't a pretty game, but sometimes that's what finals footy's like. It's a tough physical grind, and it comes down to that physical brand of footy, and to come out on top in a game like that, that's pretty physical and pretty hard fought. Does that give you a lot of confidence moving forward?
Well, look, I think anytime you can string wins together, at the end of the year they don't go through however many wins you have and say, played poorly and won by 1 point or whatever. They're just wins. So, we just stack them and move on. And, there were some good bits. We had to throw a few things around. And to the players' credit, they were able to, adjust to, the changes we made and execute. I think if we could have converted better where our opportunities, then, hopefully it doesn't get to a 1 point game. But, we're pretty obviously pleased with their resilience and finding a way.
When you did fall more than 2 goals behind, were you still confident you could fight back? Obviously, that was the scoring end for throughout the day. But were you still confident you would be able to find a way?
Yeah, I think there's too much going on. You're not worried about the end. There was still plenty of time. I think it was only about 12 minutes, 13 minutes gone. So that's a lot of time. And it wasn't like we hadn't generated the opportunities. We just hadn't taken any. Thankfully, luckily, we took a couple late.
What's a moment like that do for a young player like Tyson Headland to kick such a crucial goal in a big moment? He's trying to find his feet in league footy, and then he gets a moment like that. What does that do for him?
I think it helps with his self-belief, and it's a classic case of it's not always your day, but you can still have an impact. His pressure since he's come into the team's been outstanding, and he's competitive, and he finds a way. And he didn't have his greatest day by any means, but he mentally stayed in a positive mindset, and when he got his opportunity to convert, he took it. So, we're really pleased for him.
It was a bit different today where your scoring was a bit low because you probably just didn't kick well, but the scoring's been well down all season. Is that a concern? Is it something you'd like to see? Do you want to find more avenues to goal? Is there something you need to change in the way you're moving the ball? Do you need to get a bit more daring, or is it you just need a forward to stand up? What do you need to work on in the forward line or in the attack end to be where you want to be heading towards the finals?
I think what did we generate? We had 20 plus, 22 shots or something, and probably a couple that didn't score. So I think if you kick 14-7 instead of 7-14, then we're not talking about it. So, and that's been a little bit of a pattern for us. Even late we had a couple of set shots that we couldn't take. So we'll just keep working, and I'd be more worried if we weren't generating the shots. We're generating those, and now we've just got to work on converting at the right times.
The back end stood up again. Noah Strom. Chris Jones is one of the best sort of tall forward targets in the league, but he just couldn't get near it. He's probably undervalued a little bit on the outside, but I'm sure he's not from you and the coaching staff.
No, look, I thought probably across the board, most of our defenders have been pretty strong. All year. A couple probably not at their best today, but that's going to happen. So, we're still defending well. When we defend well as a whole group, we go okay. But we certainly weren't at our best in the first quarter. We were pretty disappointed in that, but, they reset and away they went.
His brother Zach as well, big game for him next week, gets to 150 games to get life membership at this club, and he's been such a key figure of this club ever since you've been here as a coach. Can you talk a little bit about what he's meant and what the journey's been like for you to share it with him?
Well, it's a great achievement. 150 game life member, premiership player. Arguably could have been best and fairest. Arguably could have been a Simpson medalist as well. So, there's not too many 6'3", 100 kilo players that can play half forward, wing, key forward, key back, ruck. So he's been a blessing to have. He was another one that sort of said after the game, I didn't have a great day, but I thought his last quarter where he went into the middle and gave us a lift in the ruck, and probably unlucky not to get a couple of kicks, and he was still going at the end, and you know what you're going to get from him. That's everything he's got.
You haven't had much of a chance to think about it, but another big game next week, obviously. You head to the WACA as well. When's the last time you were part of a game of footy there, and do you have any memories going back to the 90s of playing there?
It's a long time ago, maybe 98 I think. We played there. I used to love playing at the WACA. It's a great ground, so a little bit shorter. Ball moves pretty quick from end to end. I think it's, there's only maybe 5 metres maybe between the 50-metre arc and the centre square, so it's definitely shorter, bit more round, so you can get lost if you go out wide, but I think it's a ground that'll suit us.
You had some pretty memorable games, Bulldogs, West Coast, back in the late 90s, didn't you? Do you have any does anything immediately come to mind?
Not really. It's a long time ago. But, certainly looking forward to going back there next week. The Derby was pretty good last time round. It's a big sort of month for us. We've, play everyone around us. We think if we can chip away and pinch a few, then we can hopefully squirt our way to the top a bit. So, that's our aim, and we'll dust ourselves off and wind ourselves up again for next week.
It's exciting, isn't it? Obviously, East Fremantle's been struggling for most of the time you've been a coach here, but this is the first time you've been fighting for a top 2 spot with them this late in the season. It's pretty exciting. Yeah,
look, it's been a really exciting comp. It's pretty close. I think Claremont beat West Perth today. So, look, she's open. There's no doubt. So you got to be at your best every week, or you find yourself in the slog of your life like we did today. So, but Swans are going pretty well as well. So I'm sure they'll bounce back. And I think did Peel win? I don't know. So they'll be around the mark as well. But it's good for footy.
Thank you.
All good.